How was yesterday?
Yesterday, I don't teach Spanish classes, so
What
it's
do you
just
teach?
SFA. And then I'm like middle school support, and we have the half day every Wednesday. So Liz and I actually taught together. I helped in this class.
Oh, okay. With the same group of kids I'm going to be seeing today.
Different. Because I see 5th, 6th, 7th at the same time.
All right. So to get started, tell me about your positive reward system, or how do you use positive reinforcement in your classroom?
The process or just what I'm doing right now?
What you're doing right now.
Okay, so right now I have my clipboard. So well, at first I tried to have it posted on a large piece of paper, and they were like coming up and doing their checks, but that wasn't really working. Then I was doing their checks, and that still was taking too much time kind of. So then Courtney and I talked about this clipboard method. So I have like consequences, where they follow this chart, and positive checks. And positive checks, I say, can lead to either store bucks or like treats, Starburst or something, or it just also helps with your participation and class like behavior type grade. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. But as you saw in my last class, this is kind of bananas. So then this doesn't really work because I'm not constantly check, consequence, check, consequence. So I'm kind of struggling with what to do next. So right now I'm doing this. It's kind of working, but not really.
Okay, so that's what you're going to use today, and you're going to be as consistent as possible. And I just want, from my end, I want to know, like, when I see kids doing great things, how can I have you positive reinforce that? So I'll be like, you know, give them a check and make sure you tell them what you're giving the check for.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
For positive, I use positive narration quite a bit.
Great.
Try it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For some students, I think it works. Some, not as much. I'm trying to be more like explicit with what I am, like giving the positive narration for, not just saying like, Jack West is on track.
Right.
Jack West is silently sitting, working on the now.
Perfect.
But yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. All right, and then talk me through when a student's not meeting your expectation. What do you do?
So at first, in terms of consequences, I try to say like this is a verbal warning and repeat the expectations. And then following along with that chart, like, oh, this is your, that's your next check or consequence mark. We'll speak after class kind of thing.
Okay.
Repeat the expectations again. But as you saw again in the class, it's just kind of all bananas. Then it's difficult, like, because some things lead right to detention. So you kind of have to skip the consequences. If they skip the verbal warning, if they hit someone, or if they're like, say something to me that's super disrespectful. So I'm trying to figure out how to make that clear as well, because we're trying to have like a no violence policy. And even just like hitting someone once,
Yeah.
in the butt now.
So when you introduce the consequences, was it kind of like, I use these at my discretion? If you know, if I need to give you a referral or something, depending on what I see.
Yeah, that's what it was. I should revisit it because as a whole middle school, I'm not sure if Liz told you, we're trying to kind of really shape our policies and consequences like middle school wide. Because it's kind of like,
Yeah. Okay, so it's morning. Oh, okay, so actually the second thing is a conference, so you'll kind of touch base with them after class.
and usually that's turned into like a group conference.
Okay. And is that usually right after the end of class?
So
And then
there's a few minutes of lunch and nothing too.
and then there's a 5-minute lunch detention.
So
How-
5 or 15. 15.
Oh, 15, sorry. Have you had to give any of those recently?
So last week, up until this week, I've given them pretty frequently, but it's not exactly working when there's like 10, 15 kids, because A, the space is small. I've talked to April and Liz about like us sharing lunch detention, but we're kind of moving away from lunch detention and going to after school detention, so we're kind of in this like transition phase at the moment. So I've been calling more parents and less detention for this week,
Okay.
but still marking it down and of course they're great.
Okay. So if I'm having you give consequences, it would be a verbal warning, a conference, then would be lunch detention or call home? Now
You can say lunch detention for
Okay.
today.
Lunch detention.
Next
and then
week I'll really
if
try.
they continue, it's like, this is going to be a call.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were just talking and you were saying using the term bananas. So talk to me really clearly about what the behaviors you're seeing are that you would classify as bananas.
Okay, so students getting out of their chairs, just talking and totally disregarding what I say when I say like, Demarius, stop talking, and just continues to talk. Just the disrespect towards each other, like I said, it's just the hitting, like getting out of their seat, smacking someone once, yelling across the room, not doing their work. And it's hard because these classes are large, and like I said, they're 5th, 6th, 7th grade, so it's an interesting dynamic in there to begin with. And I will have about 20 to 25 who are on track, but the 5 to 10 spread out around the room, just kind of domino effects from there.
Okay. So let's tell me about a couple students who you find you're having the most difficulty redirecting their behavior.
In this class, so this is, when did you come? Is this the class you saw?
I think you came around 11.
Or what day? Tuesday. No.
Last Tuesday?
Yeah, so this will be them. So that, no, it won't be them. That's fine. So in this class,
I saw India.
you did see
Yeah.
India?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember India.
So, Anaya is quite disrespectful.
Okay, so be specific.
Okay.
What does disrespect mean to
She
you?
told me to shut up the other day.
Okay.
She will just say things to try to impress people, I think.
Okay.
And her friends are even like, Anaya, stop.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, I don't even want to just, and not doing her work. She actually had a little bit of a turnaround the other day, and she started doing her work, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And she was quiet, but just constantly talking back. I think that's the biggest aspect of disrespect right now.
Can you tell me about the last positive interaction you had with her?
I see her, we walk around the servery in the morning, and I have conversations with her, and they're great.
What do you guys talk about?
Just like, hola Naya, how are you? How was your weekend? Kind of thing. Nothing too specific.
Yeah.
But she's pleasant in those interactions.
Yeah. What do you know about her outside of school? Like, what does she
do I know
like
about
to
her?
do?
That is a good question. I'm not totally sure.
Okay. So that's probably going to be something I'm going to tell you to do moving forward.
Okay.
Tell me about a few other students.
So Lola,
Oh, hi. Do you know Miss Cookies?
I think she's in your STEM space. Who are not as on track. Steven, I talked to his mom the other day. Actually, when I say Steven and Anaya. So Steven told his mom that Anaya was throwing stuff at him, which I didn't see, and it's definitely a two-way street.
Mhm.
They're both
Okay.
poking fun
So
at
they
each
feed
other.
off each other.
Yeah, and in terms of what Steven likes, like know he likes playing football outside,
Cool.
but nothing too specific.
And what's the positive interaction you have with him?
It's pretty much the same thing when I walk around there. Just little, how was your weekend? Nothing too specific.
Okay.
I told him I like his jacket. He had a cool
Nice.
jacket on.
Nice. Cool. I like it. All right. Pick out one more for me.
Let's go. India.
Okay.
India, similar situation to Anaya. Just off track most of the time.
Does she come back in here before STEM usually?
Yeah.
These are for her. She's not in there.
And just chatty.
Okay. And did you know anything about her? Okay. This is good. We have a place to move forward from.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to use the no-nonsense nurturer model today that I'm sure you've learned at Institute in the coaching. So I want you to talk me through what that looks like.
The no nonsense nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the main aspects of the positive narration.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being firm in repeating your expectations,
Mm-hmm.
but then in general, also like forming relationships and
Mhm.
trying to know them more on a personal level. I know there's different things not to do. You shouldn't be a negative controller and
Yep.
or something.
Unintended enabler.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like all these different ones you shouldn't do, but But in terms of what you should do,
So there's 4 steps. You already gave me 2. So positive narration. But before you can do that, what do you have to do?
state your expectations.
Yep. State your expectations. Then you narrate them. And then what's the? If they're not meeting them, what do you do?
Consequence.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then under all of that is like building relationships.
Okay.
So that's the 4 pieces. So that's going to mainly be the cues that I'm giving you today. But that being said, like if your directions aren't clear, if I see that the students don't know what they're doing, so your directions should be, have you heard MVP directions?
Yes.
What does that stand for?
Voice, is that gonna be?
Verbal.
Verbal.
So voice, same thing.
Movement.
Movement, right? So are you sitting in your seat? Are you up? Are you, yeah.
And the P.
So how are you participating? So are you
Okay.
raising your hand? Are you talking to someone? Yeah, well, that could fall under voice, but like what's your participation look like? Are you
Okay.
writing on paper? Are you looking at me?
Sounds
Cool. So yeah, so if your directions aren't like super clear and I see that kids don't know what they're doing, I'll probably even feed you like directions. Or I'll be like, tell them what to do. Because sometimes those are things that you forget to say.
Mhm.
And so I'll help you with that.
Okay, cool.
So this is how it works. So I just turn it on for you, but I usually put it around here, but the volume, if you want to turn it up, you just keep going with it. So put this on your ear. This is weird. Ooh, this looks really weird right now. I usually like cool lips. Oh wait, no, this piece is missing. Hold on, see if you can get that on your ear. I'm
Okay.
gonna look in my bag and see if there's like another piece. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. No, it's not it. Okay, there's like a piece that's missing.
Would any headphone work?
Yeah.
I can just, I have headphones. And I could just wrap one around my ear.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. Sorry about that. I wonder if it was from someone that I was coaching yesterday. Yeah, I was coaching someone and then she put it in her pocket and I left. So then she brought it to the office later, so I wonder if it fell off when it was in her pocket. Or it's not fit in there. And there's no way. I can go grab. Well, when I come back at 11:45, I can go grab headphones from someone else. But for now, can you just like hold this to your ear?
Yeah. Oh, and testing was canceled on the morning announcement.
Oh, okay.
So you can come whenever.
Cool. Okay, so I know it's not ideal right now. I'll get you some headphones that are normal. Okay, not if you can hear me. Good. So let's pretend it's the first 20 minutes of your class and you're giving directions. You're starting the class. Tell me what you usually say.
What I usually say as soon as they walk in.
Mm-hmm.
So lately I've been doing after the door like all on Marius, the Vamos activities on the board, into the classroom to silently, and we can work on the Vamos. And then pause and narrate kind of who's working on the Vamos.
Mhm.
Usually it's not too many students,
Mm-hmm.
but Chestino is silently and independently working on the Vamos activity. We have 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes.
Mm-hmm. Be more specific. What does working on? What does that look like? Are they usually writing? Is it always a writing? Is it writing today?
Yeah, it's like today's actually a little riddle today. So I'm teaching numbers,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of just like little math riddles that I'm gonna talk about either next class or if we have time in the class today, just how to like translate them.
Cool. So one of the things I find, one of the directions I find to be really effective is if you say pencils to paper.
Okay.
Because then it's like, because working could be like, well, I'm thinking about the question, and if you really want to see them producing something, you say like pencils to paper. So even if they're ready in that position to like write that answer to you, so give those directions again, but add that in, and then do a narration with that.
So like Chestino has his pencil to paper. Is
Mhm.
that what you said?
Mhm.
So Ola Chestino come in silently and start working on the do now. You have 4 minutes to complete the do now or the Vamos. Chestino has his pencil to paper and
Great.
he's silently working on the do now.
Great. Yeah, and I like that you give them a time limit. That's really great. Okay, so say Robert is not on task. Robert is